Skip it up and that up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick announcement before this video's story. I just want to let you know that the newest episode of the Rich and Red podcast that I do with Liana Kersner is over at Podbean. I'll have a link below to it in the description so you can check it out. And also, if you want to support the podcast, I also have a link to our Patreon below in the description. For $1 a month, it gives you access to a downloadable high-quality MP3 of the podcast and access to the video version of the podcast. Again, you get all that for $1 a month. The podcast is a lot of fun, and I'll have those links below, again, in the description. Go check them out. So Gearbox Software, the publisher for the newly re-released Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, has found itself in a world of trouble. They decided to announce a partnership with G2A. Now, G2A is a game key distributor where you can get games for decent discounts. And in the past, I thought personally that this was resolved and they kind of changed all their policies and stopped doing this crap. They've been known to have shady business practices. And apparently, from what I've read, they kind of sort of still do, hence why everyone's angry at Gearbox Software. G2A is known to not really care too much about combating fraud. I've read stories of them in the past before selling stolen keys and being like, oops, we didn't realize we're doing that, but we don't really give a crap. Developers in the past have even accused G2A of buying games that were purchased with stolen credit cards. And even when the charges from those stolen credit cards were reversed, G2A would end up keeping the profit they got from the keys, and the developer would end up being screwed over and see nothing. Now, when Gearbox Software announced that they were partnering up with G2A, a lot of people became enraged. So much so that even big YouTubers like Total Biscuit swore off of covering future Gearbox titles because of their partnership with G2A. So in a, albeit feeble, attempt to stem off the criticism that they're receiving, Gearbox has given G2A an ultimatum, and these are the things that Gearbox wants G2A to change about their policies for Gearbox to continue working with them. Within 30 days, G2A Shield, aka Customer Fraud Protection, is made free instead of a separate paid subscription service within terms offered by other major marketplaces. All customers who spend money deserve fraud protection from a storefront. To that end, all existing G2A Shield customers are notified by April 14th that fraud protection services are now free and they will no longer be charged for this. Within 90 days, G2A will open up a web service or API to certified developers and publishers to search for and flag for immediate removal keys that are fraudulent. This access will be free of charge and will not require payment by the content holders. G2A makes a public commitment to this. Within 60 days, implement throttling for non-certified developers and publishers at the title, user ID, and account payable levels for a fraud flagging process. This is to protect content providers from having large quantities of stolen goods flipped on G2A before they can be flagged. G2A makes a public commitment to this. Within 30 days, G2A restructures its payment system so that customers who wish to buy and sell legitimate keys are given a clear, simple fee structure that is easy to understand and contains no hidden or obfuscated charges. Join the ranks of other major marketplaces. So yeah, I don't think anyone here is arguing that this ultimatum that Gearbox gave G2A is a bad thing. The ultimatum and what they want G2A to change, they're all good things. It would keep shady keys off of the website, and it would give reputable publishers and developers more control over what goes on G2A. But what people have an issue with is that Gearbox gave G2A this ultimatum after they partnered up with him, and now it just looks like Gearbox is trying to save face and damage control. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit. It's a feeble defense for Gearbox. I'll admit that I had no idea this was still going on with G2A. I know a while back I heard the whole thing about stolen keys with credit cards and all that, and I thought it was all resolved and they changed their policies and changed their ways. But admittedly, in my defense, I don't think I've ever purchased a key off of G2A. Yeah, I really don't. I don't think I've ever gotten a game off of G2A, so I don't really keep up on them. Gearbox Software is a game publisher. This is their business, so you would think they would have looked into G2A and saw if they changed their policies before they teamed up with them, especially knowing what their reputation used to be and obviously still is. And I will tell you this, I don't care if you're a game developer, I don't care if you're a content creator on YouTube, I don't care whatever business you're in. If you partner up with somebody or you partner up with a corporation and you get a sponsorship or a paid deal or whatever the case may be, make sure, I learned this the hard way firsthand, that you do thorough research. If you think you've done enough research on a sponsor or partner, do even more. Because when you read between the lines is when you find out if that sponsor or partner may have had a shady past, and you don't want their shady past to try to bite you in the ass. Even though it's not your responsibility, people will still try to affiliate you with it, and it never ever goes away. Trust me, I know. Now, am I personally going to boycott Gearbox software? No, I'll let it slide. I'll give him another chance. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Probably someone in corporate had a brain fart, didn't realize how shady G2A is still considered, and now they're like, oh crap, I didn't know all that was still going on. Let's back away. And they did. They backed away and gave G2A an ultimatum, even though the ultimatum, like I said, is laughable because they gave it to him after they partnered with G2A. Oh, Gearbox. But if Gearbox does something like this again and partners with another questionable sponsor, then yeah, maybe it'll be time to do some Gearbox boycotting. But right now, look, they made a mistake. I'll give them another chance. Maybe I am being too lenient on them, but that's just my opinion. This is Richard Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.